Hey everybody, this is Heidi McLean, relationship coach, and I'm with Amy Lynn, and she is a certified life coach and divorce coach. And we've been talking about managing the seasons of divorce. We've already talked about summer and fall and winter, and now we're excited to talk about spring. It's the rebirth phase after divorce, and I am so excited to turn over to Amy, and she's going to share a little bit about what that looks like.
Yeah. So thank you, Heidi. Winter has felt long likely at this point, and you're so ready for a new season. And so the metaphor of this is that buds are pushing through the soil, and that represents resilience and new beginnings. So we planted the seeds, we plant those seeds for the future, and now they're beginning to bloom and push through. Like seeds have to have resilience to push through the earth. Baby chicks have to have resilience to crack through those shells, which usually is happening also in the spring. And so what comes to your mind when you think of that? New beginnings and resilience.
I just love the fresh air of it all. You had mentioned in a previous episode that the world feels different. It feels renewed and bright and hopeful, and it's shaking off the dirt, like you said, the seeds bursting through. It's shaking off the past. And gosh, I'm sorry, but all I keep thinking is Taylor Swift, shake it off. Shake it off. It's like coming alive again and just celebrating life. So I love it.
And then we get those wonderful days are beginning to get longer, and you're starting to feel the lengthening of the day, the earlier mornings and the longer evenings. Like the sun is up much longer, and that just feels like it brings hope and clarity and energy, a new energy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I love it. And people with that new energy tend to reach out more. They tend to exercise more. They tend to explore and be curious more and more adventuresome.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's fun.
And then I think of the April showers April showers bring May flowers. So we start to have growth because of nourishment and vulnerability with rain. Rain brings it's a vulnerable, episode that comes along, you could have thunder and lightning and all that rain, but it also nourishes. And so that's also the season of life where we're self-nourishing. I think that's a continual thing throughout all seasons, really. Yes. But there may be some vulnerability that we also get to muscle through.
Yeah. I love the idea of rain nurturing us, but at the same time cleansing us. It's kind of a reassurance that everything is going to be okay. Yeah. That the stuff that's lingering you can let go of that and be gone. And
I love that.
You really can focus on your new identity. So what a lot of people don't really think about, a lot of times they're just living in survival mode when it comes to divorce, and a lot of times they'll try to jump in relationships fast and they'll try to move on and create that level of normalcy that they had before with having a partner and having the house function the same way. But the reality is, unless you clear the debris, do the harvesting, preparing the land, and get the rest in, you won't be ready to celebrate it. And in the spring is when you get to focus on your new identity. Who are you now? Independent of that previous relationship, independent of anything next that's coming, you get to decide, who do I want to be? How am I going to show up? And you get to do it in a vibrant, exciting way for yourself, as long as you haven't weighed yourself down with new anchors.
Yes. Yeah, it's a season of freedom and to rediscover and renew yourself. Like, who do you really want to be? How do you really want to show up in life? Like, who are you really? You've been able to shed away some of the titles that we get so hooked on. And instead, who are you by name? Who are you by nature? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And how does that relate to you? So spring represents a rebirth when healing takes hold and confidence grows. And do you remember like the whole divorce process and how your confidence was just like shot? I mean, I remember.
What confidence?
Right, exactly. It didn't exist. It was so low. And that's actually where mine was in my marriage. And then, but as time went, that whole rebirth sets through. I remember just days after my divorce was final, my divorce took 4 years. And so it was a long, drawn out process. And it was literally within that first week, I was sitting in church and I don't even remember what was being talked about. It had nothing to do with this feeling that came through me. But literally, as I sat there, I was taking notes. I was actually writing in my planner some goals. And I literally just had this very physical feeling of weight just literally dropping off of me, like plopping all off of my body to the ground. It was a literal feeling, and I was like taken back by it, but also like, wow, because I think my divorce was so long. I had been working through the healing process through that 4 years and even leading up to filing that I allowed that time for me to start the healing process through all of that. And as that divorce became final, like I felt the renewal, the rebirth.
That's wonderful.
It's a neat experience.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really cool.
You're welcome.
I was just thinking as you were talking to and listening to what you had to say, and I was thinking about how before the divorce it was heavy and hard in survival mode because we just weren't on the same page. And then the stresses of married life, bills, mortgage, kids, trying to manage it all and trying to navigate the minefield that it was. But then going through the divorce changes, new places to live and new expenses and how are we going to manage the kids' new schedule and all that and just the weight of that. And then we talked about the winter and how the winter is a time of rest and you're just kind of sitting there and you're kind of just still in shock mode, but just kind of like taking a breath. But then the season of spring comes where it's like you said, that all falls off and it's like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. And I'm excited to do it. And it, like I said before, you become curious and you're like, okay, what's the next phase? You're actually ready to move forward. Yeah. And we're not suggesting that grief or these seasons last for the normal yearly seasons. Like it might be, winter might be 2 months for you or 2 years for you.
Yeah.
Summer, going through the divorce and that whole process, maybe a year or 9 months. Going through fall and harvesting and stuff, that may take 6 months. We're not saying that they're going to be exact seasons like the seasons of the year, but it is a period of time. And give yourself grace as you're going through it. But there is going to be that celebration time. There is going to be that time when you feel the shift and the winds change, like you in the shackles falling off and just breaking free.
Yeah.
And feeling empowered.
Yeah.
And it will feel amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so it also represents when women begin to dream again and set goals and rediscover identity and embrace new opportunities. We've kind of covered a lot of that. Yeah. But new opportunities might be something we haven't really talked about so much. It might be a new job. Maybe you want to further your education, go back to school. Maybe you want to start a new hobby. I know I picked up paddleboarding. It was something I was always curious about. Yeah, and I never felt like I could ask my ex for money for a paddleboard, just random, because that was not how our relationship worked. And so, I was able to take some funds and buy a paddleboard and start getting out on the water. And water is very healing and nurturing. Yes. And I'm a Florida girl, so I love water. And so, so that was really fun to discover new hobbies and new things about yourself that maybe you've thought about doing and you haven't done, or you've never thought about doing, but now you can just really kind of self-discover and say, I want to try it. I might like it, I might not, and that's okay either way. I might decide it's not for me or that it's absolutely for me.
100%. I remember during that time, I've always loved photography, and I bought myself a new camera. I think I just bought it off of like Facebook Marketplace or someplace like that because it was kind of expensive, but I wanted a really nice camera, and I did. And I went out, and when the kids were with their dad on the weekend, I would go explore, and I'd look at things around the city, or I'd go hiking and just take pictures. And even after a while, I started taking pictures for families who wanted family photos, and I didn't charge them initially because I was just like, I'm just doing this to have fun, but I found so much joy in it, and it brought excitement. Then it's like, well, what else have I wanted to do that I haven't done in a long time? And I just discovered different parts of myself, and have let that flourish and continue to grow. And I've challenged myself to do things I never would do, like making a video. 10 years ago, if you had said, I'm going to do a podcast, I'm going to make a video, I would be like,
share our story?
No.
What? We, there were times through this whole process that I was too embarrassed to share my story and my journey. And now it's like our story has a voice because then we can assist others through their challenging times and let them know there's hope. And that's why we have a passion for what we do as coaches, is to let people know there is a future. There is so much to enjoy.
Yeah.
I remembered, actually, that's when I started taking Studio Red classes, and I've lost 70 something pounds. I don't even know now, but just.
It's amazing. Congrats.
Just taking care of yourself. Yeah. Thank you. It was just, trying new things. And I didn't feel going to the gym would set my ex off. And now I can go to the gym because it's what I want to do and it's good for my health, and I don't have to worry about triggering someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, you can do this quickly or slowly.
Yeah.
You don't always have to jump in with both feet into everything, but just even small and simple changes, even if it's just, you know what, I think I'm going to go for a walk today. It's invigorating and it's nurturing you and it's feeding your body, and which also feeds your mind and
helps your cortisol levels.
Yeah, helps you sleep better. And really, spring is a time of rediscovery or new discovery and uncovering the real you that maybe have been hiding for a long time.
And also realizing that setbacks are part of the process. We will have those setbacks. It doesn't mean we've done anything wrong. It doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong. It just means not everything is going to be on this upward trajectory. It's going to have ebbs and flows in life. And so we will notice setbacks and to not judge ourselves on that.
Yeah.
We might slip into old patterns or old ways of reacting due to traumas that are unhealed. More like plan on it. It'll happen. But it shows us an area. It's a gift, because without seeing those areas, we wouldn't know where to work on ourselves next. So
even a newly planted garden grows weeds, and you still have to tend to that. And if you don't, it can go awry and impact what you're trying to grow or develop. But so being wary of that is important for sure.
And so we talked a bit ago, you and I did, about how some of our clients have gone back to school or they've rediscovered new things. But also realizing, you don't realize it for a while within the divorce period, but more than likely we've gone through seasons of not laughing as much, and because we're just in that self-preservation mode. So spring would represent the ability to start laughing and relaxing and laying our feet on the earth, because in the winter it's cold. You don't want to lay your feet on that. But spring is getting where you can start putting your feet on the earth and laughing more and seeing, it's the first months where it feels like the flowers are starting to come out because the snow is melting away. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love it. And I know we haven't talked about dating yet, but so I was in a space where I wasn't ready to date, and somebody was interested in dating, and I expressed to them, I just said, hey, I am not in the space yet to date romantically, but if you want a really good friend, I'd be happy to be a really good friend. And thankfully, he was in a similar space. He had recently been divorced and out of a relationship, and he was okay with things being more casual. And so we did. We started going out as friends, and he's now one of my all-time favorite people in the world, and we're best friends. And when you're talking about putting your feet in the earth and playing, what came to mind is we had gone to see, a baseball game out, and I was living in Texas, and so it was there, and we were walking to the car, and it was just a beautiful spring evening, and just kind of got a wild hair, and so we decided to roll down a grassy hill. So here we are at our age, after 50, and we're rolling down this hill, and it was hilarious, and we got dizzy. Probably wouldn't do that again, but the joy from that, putting our feet in the earth, enjoying the moment, living, and just having fun. And so in the springtime after a divorce, it's when you become that kid again and become connected to that inner child, and like I said, find joy and playfulness and those things, and can create new memories that'll last for the upcoming year.
Yeah, there's a kid in all of us that needs to be nurtured, and there's some of these toughest times we kind of bury that, and so spring represents being playful again and laughing and having fun, and that we're never too old to do anything that just brings joy and laughter to our lives.
Yeah, and you're in the spring when you're looking for things that bring you hope and joy, and you're not holding grudges, and you're looking forward to connection.
I think that's where a lot of forgiveness comes in, is like being able to forgive the past. And we've talked about that, I think, in some of the prior episodes, where I think that was in the summer, where it's like forgiveness comes in, and but in the spring we really can let that forgiveness just really become a part of ourselves, and forgiving, most importantly, ourselves for maybe whatever feelings had been coming up all along, of maybe we thought we had failed, or grief and pain, but being able to forgive that and move forward. Planting a garden, whether you're just, I have a couple little gardens out here, whether it's just yourself or with your children, to represent creating a new life together, or a new life for yourself, new beginnings. So, asking questions: who am I now? Discovering yourself outside of marriage, and new dreams, allowing yourself to imagine a future again. Because for a while, you really can't even imagine the future. You're so in survival mode, you can't see that far. What comes to your mind on that?
I have the weirdest thoughts episode. One of my favorite quotes, I love Rocky, the movie Rocky, and I can't remember which one, it's one of his later ones, but he was talking to his son, and he was talking about how in life, it doesn't matter how hard you get hit. It's getting hit and being able to stand again. And I was thinking about how the summer and the season of divorce is that hit. You take an emotional, physical, financial hit, and then your body is in shock, and you're trying to move forward with these wounds and trying to not let them affect your mindset and not let them control you, and just really stay focused and afloat, and self-preservation. And then you get to the point where after rest and after all the evaluation, where you feel like you can actually nurture, and it's not just standing up, but it's being successful again and learning to run again, and it's almost as if those seasons didn't happen, but you're the best version of yourself now because you went through it.
I love that.
And you wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
And so that's what, to me, the spring is like. You are now emerging into the best version of yourself you've ever been. and it's going to set you up for success if you let it and let your mindset be there for the future.
Yeah, I've absolutely, I remember thinking, I didn't ever think I could be actually grateful for my divorce and like see what it allowed me to become and how it served me well and how beautiful it has been until spring came. And then that is when you're like, wow, I'm actually grateful for what this taught me. Yeah. I'm grateful for what it's allowed me to become in that process. It's that rebirth. It's that purification that goes on, and being willing to, and not even just willing, but like, I'm glad I'm out. I'm so grateful I made it through, and so grateful to be in the place that I'm in now. It's like so revolutionary. It's so freeing.
Yeah, we never pray for hard things to happen.
No.
And I don't think anybody goes into a relationship hoping it ends and that it ends in all the ways that they can.
Yeah.
But knowing that there is survival and knowing that you can come out of it the best version of you.
Yeah.
There's hope.
A lot.
And there's peace. And the lessons you can teach your kids going through it and keep maintaining the level of gratitude and focus will help them throughout their trials in life. And hopefully they won't be the same. But they'll know that they can get through it because they've watched you go through the things that you've gone through.
And I think of how much more peaceful my home life is. The daily living in and out functionality, how different things are in beautiful ways. I like to go back to the dating. Somebody recently said something to me. She was leaving a difficult relationship. This was not her first divorce, but she said, I've realized I don't want to be back in relationships until I'm ready to walk away from a relationship when I see the need or the red flags or whatever it may be, that she realized she wants to be in that healthy place where when something is starting to look like what a repeat of patterns, just a different human being involved, that she needs to be in that healthy place before she's getting back into relationships where she can do that and not have it be such a hit to her self-esteem.
Yeah.
And I thought that is really powerful, to just be so good with who you are that you're not in relationships just to be in a relationship. You're in the relationship, you're ready to be in relationships because it is the healthy thing to be, the right thing to be for you and your children.
Yeah. It reminded me, I think it was Matthew Hussey, he's another relationship coach. Yeah. And I think he said something very similar. I believe either a podcast host or a reporter asked him, well, how can you protect yourself against either cheating or a relationship ending? And he said, you absolutely can't. There are no guarantees in life. You can't predict what somebody else will do. You can't predict necessarily what you're going to do, but you know you're in a healthy place when you know that you're going to be okay regardless of what happens. If they do cheat, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know if they do leave, you're going to be okay. You know that if, unfortunately they pass away, we know a lot of widows and that happens in life, and that you're going to be okay. And that's when you know you're ready, is when you're in a place where you know that whatever happens, you're going to be okay. And that's why this rebirth or a new identity is so important, because you've now got the roots to stand on your own. Yeah. You're not relying on the roots or the connection with somebody else to stand. And it can be fruitful. So,
love it. Can be. It's a time of hope and renewal, so anchoring into gratitude and possibility every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day.
Be present and live in gratitude.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a great day, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, everyone.